I'm here in London at the Strategic Coach Workshop. It's quite surreal. Since 2007, I've dreamed of being part of this program for entrepreneurs. All my mentors, Jack Canfield, Brooke Castillo, Joe Polish, you name it, they have attended. It's been on a vision board, my goals list, and my heart for years. But the investment is so considerable. When I had the money, I didn't have the time. When I had the time, I didn't have the money. Finally, after 18 years, I have made it. I broke through both barriers. I'm here in the room, present. And then I realized I'm one of only 3 women in a room of 27. They're all from all over the world. They throw around revenue numbers that make my head spin. Suddenly, I feel completely out of my league. I even start to believe that I can't understand their English accents. My mind is spiraling. It's a disaster. So I do the only thing I can think of. The only thing we have been discussing in Global Academy of Coaching on how to cope with thoughts that do not serve us. The only thing that I work with, my coachees and myself. Even though there is no break, I just walk out. I head straight to the bathroom and... Hello, my beautiful friend. This is Jill Douka, Master Certified Coach, and today we're diving into a topic that almost every high achiever secretly struggles with. How to overcome the Imposter Syndrome, episode number 12. My beautiful friend, you are not alone. An estimated 70% of people will experience Imposter Syndrome at least once in their lives. It's especially common among high performers, leaders, and creatives. Those of us who want to constantly grow and step into this unknown. So if you've ever felt like a fraud, despite of your accomplishments, this episode will help you understand why and how to move forward with clarity and compassion. So I first want us to touch base on what is going on in our brain, okay? The first step is to understand the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for overthinking and self-evaluation, okay? This is what is stated from the Journal of Neuroscience. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive functions like planning, reasoning, and self-reflection, okay? When we experience the imposter syndrome, this region becomes hyperactive during self-evaluation. It's like some bells start ringing. And especially in high stakes or in competitive environments. This leads to excessive rumination, the blah, 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 blah that we hear our ego is doing in our mind, perfectionism, which actually is not perfectionism, but it is ego talk, and doubt about our own competence, even when the evidence says otherwise. So it's so important to understand how the brain works, okay? And the second part of the brain is the amygdala. We have fear and emotional memory. And I remember Anna at the Global Academy of Coaching Leadership Certification class, she was describing how she felt a constant sense of fear and anxiety once they announced her promotion. So the amygdala regulates fear, anxiety, and emotional memory. When someone feels like a fraud, it's often because the amygdala is triggering the fear response. I'll be found out or I don't belong here. And the brain reacts as if there's a threat, even when the danger, it's just a presentation or a new challenge, okay? It's as if the brain goes back to the time that we were attacked by bears or, tigers. Mike was sharing at the Global Academy of Coaching Leadership Certification that he keeps comparing himself with other students who have built more successful coaching businesses than him. And this is the DMN, the Default Mode Network. The social comparison and identity, as it was found at the Harvard Medical Business School, is active when we're not focused on the outside world and our mind wanders, okay? So it's this default mode of ego self-talk, daydreams, or replaying past events. It's as if the brain is on a sleep mode, but this part of the brain is linked to social comparison, okay? And it's constructing our identity. So When it's overactive, the DMN can reinforce negative self-narratives, like I'm not good enough, especially when we start comparing ourselves to others. Now, the brain function is all based on dopamine system. It's the reward and motivation that we all need. We have achievers tend to chase external validation, awards, praise, promotions, which activates the brain's dopamine reward system. But when that validation comes, it may feel undeserved because the internal belief, I'm not enough, hasn't changed. Okay? This creates a disconnect between reward and self-worth. It's so important that we understand how the brain works. Now, my beautiful friend, I really want to encourage you to think the imposter syndrome from a completely different perspective. The imposter syndrome is not a weakness. It's a neurobiological byproduct of growth, ambition, and self-awareness. Actually, I want you to be thrilled when you feel the imposter syndrome because it means that you are growing. The more you expand beyond your comfort zone into new roles, opportunities, or circles of influence, the more your brain's fear and threat systems are triggered. You feel like an imposter because you're growing. You question yourself because you care deeply about excellence. And you compare yourself to others because you're in a new territory where your brain hasn't built evidence yet. My beautiful friend, this is not a sign that you don't belong. This is a sign you're becoming someone bigger. Now, how to make the imposter syndrome work for you? I'm going to share with you 5 evidence-based tools to rewire your brain that I use daily. In Global Academy of Coaching, we teach them thoroughly. And also, I coach my clients on them. So, the first is to reframe the threat as a signal of expansion. As I was about to do my second sprint triathlon race, my thoughts the night before went wild. I found myself lying in the bed thinking, what am I doing? Who in their right mind wakes up at 5 a.m., drags their 9-year-old daughter to Marathon Beach, which is freezing, by the way, and chooses to swim, bike, and run on the first day of their period in pain. I had been preparing for this race for 6 months, and yet the night before, my brain was plotting an exit plan. I even created a detailed scenario of how I could skip the race entirely and still manage to get my very expensive bike back without having to show up at the starting line. Seriously, this is how convincing my mind was. Now, did I do the race? Yes, I did. Did I finish near the end, one of the last athletes who got qualified and did not get disqualified to cross the line? Yes, I did. Did many athletes got disqualified? Yes, they did. But most importantly, did I do my second triathlon race? Yes, I did. I showed up. I didn't let the fear win. I didn't let the pain stop me. I didn't let the self-doubt get louder than my desire to grow. I showed up not because I felt ready, but because I refused to let the discomfort define me. Okay? Now, the second way we're gonna focus on reframing the imposter syndrome is to reframe the threat as a signal of expression, as we said, because the Harvard Center for the Developing Child said that cognitive reappraisal techniques reduce amygdala hyperactivation by 40%. When fear shows up like that, loud, dramatic, irrational, it's not because something is wrong. It's because something is changing. It's because you are expanding. That night, my brain wasn't warning me of danger. It was alerting me. You're about to do something bold, something brave, something that will stretch who you think you are. And the only way through was to show up anyway. Now, another way that we can rewire what's going on is the science behind writing wins, okay? We're gonna work on a huge confidence boost. Do you want to increase your confidence by 38%? Follow what the study in the Journal of Applied Psychology says. Repeated exposure to competence reinforcement actions increases our confidence by 38% over 8 weeks. So, confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after. It's built by doing hard things over and over again, even when fear is screaming. I started triathlon training on my own. I used apps, watched videos, followed plans, but deep down, I knew I needed more. I wanted to grow. So I joined the #1 triathlon team in Greece. Now, let me paint a picture for you. All these athletes are getting on podiums, they're winning medals, they're fast, experienced, and powerful. And me? I finished one of the last in every single race. In every training, they're 1, 2, sometimes 3 rounds ahead of me. Of course, the voice is there. The inner voice that whispers, you're the last one. Why are you even trying? Look how far behind you are. I hear that voice every single round. So how do I stay motivated? I remind myself I'm doing this for me. Not for my coach, not for my teammates, not for validation. For me. I compare Jill with Jill, not anyone else. When they fly past me, I observe. I study their technique, their rhythm, their form. I soak it in. I learn. I use every training as an opportunity to grow. And I am proud. I'm proud that I show up, proud that I do my best, not their best, but my best, Jill's best. And that, my beautiful friend, is more than enough. So I want to encourage you to commit to one stretch action every week. Stretch yourself. Example, ask yourself in a mastermind group a question. Speak up in a meeting. Share a success online. Stretch yourself. The final technique that I'm going to share with you is to practice the nervous system regulation. You cannot override the imposter feeling with logic alone. You need to calm the body, okay? So I want to invite you to use the 5-5-10 breath before big moments, like I'm going to share with you. I did in London. Inhale 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale for 10 seconds. Repeat 4 times. My beautiful friend, you don't eliminate the imposter syndrome, you befriend it. You build a new identity by showing up again and again until your brain learns. I now compare myself with myself. Period. I'm in London at the first strategic coach training. Even though there is no break, I just walk out. I head straight to the bathroom and I place both feet on the ground. I breathe. 5 deep breaths. In for 5, out for 10. Then I look myself in the mirror. And I say to myself, I only compare Jill with Jill. I'm whole and complete. Now, I smile. I give myself a little kiss and I walk back into that room with confidence, grace, and not a trace of judgment. My beautiful friend, let me know in the comments, what is the one lifestyle micro change you will do because of today's episode? What are you going to do in order to release this imposter syndrome? Did you learn something? If yes, please share this podcast with a friend who needs it. I would greatly appreciate a 5-star review so that others can discover the Global Academy of Coaching podcast. The more 5-star reviews we have, the higher we get ranked and more people can listen to us. And for you, our Create Your Life with Jill retreat is almost sold out. There, we create your life plan to help you live to your full potential. Email us at info@Global Academy of Coaching to get the details. Until then, my beautiful friend, keep thriving.